Good morning, adventurers. From another day here in Hong Kong. In our last video, we got to show you guys around the city a little bit, and you saw just how many people there actually are here. Over 7 million people. That means that the apartments can get pretty tight, pretty small, and pretty congested.
Even though they have about a bazillion high-rises, the apartments are still teeny tiny. They have so many apartments inside of each building.
So today we wanted to show you guys around our apartment that we're staying in. We've been here for almost a week now, so we've gotten kind of a sense of what it's like in the city, and we also after that want to do just kind of our first impressions to tell you guys what we've kind of been noticing and feeling.
Hong Kong is pretty unique, and there are a lot of fun and quirky things about the city, so we thought it would be interesting to share those things with you. But first, we're very hungry. It is lunchtime, so we're going to give you a little preview of what we'll be doing, I think in tomorrow's vlog, which is a full-on dim sum tour.
So we came to a place that's called Chun Shandong Dumpling, I think is how you say it, but we came here the other day and the dumplings just completely blew us away. So we got a plate of green beans, we got some dumplings just to share. It's gonna be a good day.
Welcome to our apartment. You have the kitchen, bathroom, and bedroom. I guess tour's over. Let's go.
Just kidding. Well, that's pretty much it, but there's a little bit more to it that we want to show you guys. So this is actually the smallest apartment I think that we've ever stayed in. As we mentioned earlier, Hong Kong is known for having some pretty tiny places, and believe it or not, this was one of the bigger ones. We had to pay a little bit extra just to have a little bit of room to actually spin around.
This was one that actually had a separate room. Most of them, the front door led directly into, it would be like this whole thing is cut off, and it would just be this bathroom and bedroom. That's how most of them were.
So let's do a proper look around this place. So we have the kitchen area, which you've already kind of seen. So everything's just kind of piled in here, really. We have a hot plate up here, but the host didn't give us any pans to actually use on it, so we can't use it. We have this refrigerator here that's very tiny, but it does the job. We have a washing machine, which is awesome because a lot of these places I don't think actually have them because they're so dang small. And then of course our little sink area and a little bit of storage space up here. And they have this little futon guy here that hasn't really come in handy. The place is so small that stuff like this really just ends up getting in the way, so we just kind of fold it and put it in the corner.
Yeah, so this is actually supposed to be for a third guest. If you have a third one,
I didn't even think about that. So they cram 3 people in here?
Sure do.
Let's continue the tour and you'll see just how horrible that would actually be. We have a little workstation here. Luckily this table is foldable, so we're able to put it out of the way when we're not working, which helps. You gotta save space in all the little possible ways that you can in a place like this. Onward, follow me to the rest of the mansion. So we have our bathroom right here. You might be noticing that the toilet is right beneath the shower. I've never seen them in such close proximity, but when you're showering, you're basically on the toilet, like this. It's great. And then the whole thing gets covered in water, so you have to move all this stuff up and hide it.
Good news, if anything gets dire in there, you just pop a squat.
If you really gotta go, hey, it's right there. It's so convenient. On to the final room in the place. This is the bedroom. So because we paid a little bit extra, we have actual room to turn around in here. Most of these places, it's just the bed.
Yeah.
You have a door that leads right to the bed. We have a rack right here, which you can see we've stuffed everything on because the key in a place like this is to keep stuff off the floor. It's so easy for stuff to just start to pile up and get really trash feeling. You also might be wondering, where are our suitcases at? Well, we found this handy storage up here, and that's where we stuffed our suitcases. It's good and bad. It gets it out of the way, but also I keep thinking about stuff that I need from there and have to pull it down, and it's not that convenient, but it gets it out of the way at least. And then behind the door, we have a convenient hanging rack where we've been literally hanging everything just to get it off the dang floor. But
look, you got everything. You got your TV in here, the AC unit, you got a lovely view of the city.
And as you can see, sometimes you just have to stand on the bed. That's the only way to get around in this place. You can hear how loud it is out there. When you close the window, it's really not even that loud.
No, you really don't hear anything, especially with the AC going at night. We've been out, even though this might go down in history as the hardest bed that we have ever slept on.
It's like sleeping on concrete.
It's literally no give whatsoever.
We were talking about how maybe if the bathroom was kind of off in the corner and there was more of an open space here.
I think it would help a lot. I guess somebody just wanted a bedroom to be closed off, but I don't feel like it helps at all because this is wasted space, and then we come in the room like this, he's back there, and if I need to get around, I'm like...
Yeah, we're just constantly shuffling out of each other's way.
That's why we've literally just been getting up on the bed to go around each other.
You all should leave a comment below and let us know if you could stay in a place like this or how long you would last, because we're here for a little over a week.
Yeah.
right? And that's enough for us. That's probably the longest we'd want to stay here. So you guys should let us know. Could you actually live in a place like this? Because I don't think we could.
It's funny because we just spent a week with another couple in New Zealand in a little Sprinter van, and that felt more spacious than this. And we were saying, Eric was saying, probably because you could hop outside and then you had the world out there, but here you just have this. There's no escaping unless you go like all the way down and out.
We left the hustle and bustle, y'all, and came to Kowloon Park, which is just south of where we were staying in Kowloon.
Yeah,
not bad at all.
Really nice, so much quieter. I'm impressed at how little noise we can hear.
So we mentioned earlier how we wanted to kind of tell you guys about our first impressions of Hong Kong, mainly because as we've been walking around, we've been like, oh, we should tell them about that, we should tell them about this. So we were like, well, let's just make a list and do one of those first impression videos that people do.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever officially done this before, but as we mentioned earlier, Hong Kong's just been a really fun place and has a lot of interesting things that we have noticed.
Yeah,
so
it's very unique.
Yeah, we thought we would share it with you guys.
Before we get started, keep in mind that these are just our own first impressions from being here for a week. Obviously, we know it would be completely different if you actually lived here, if you're from here. This is just kind of what we've noticed.
Yeah, and these are in no way facts or a gospel truth. This is just what we've seen and experienced so far.
The first thing that we noticed the minute that we arrived is that the city is quite crowded. When you're walking on the street, you feel it. You're really elbow to elbow.
Yeah.
People are bumping into you and all kinds of stuff.
Both with people and vehicles. There are buses, trains, cars everywhere.
Yeah, the intersections are wild.
Pretty lawless.
I've almost
with some of them.
gotten hit by a bus twice. Speaking of that, they do drive on the left here.
Yes.
Because this was a former British territory, so they have a lot of influence from that. And
They
drive on
do,
the left.
but they also tell you on the road, just like they do in the UK, so you know which way to look so that you don't get hit by that bus.
Very helpful.
The prices kind of threw us for a loop. We thought we would save some money coming here, and it really, you can find affordable things, but the quality isn't quite there, I'd say. They're very small, very dated apartments, so you have to spend quite a bit. We were looking around 100 USD would get you a bigger apartment with, you know, with a bathroom and a shower, the shower that's not over the toilet, with a full room, a full kitchen, stuff like that. Otherwise,
100 USD a night.
Yeah, 100 USD a night.
Conversely, we are heading to Vietnam after this, and for $100 you can get a week's worth of accommodation in an entire house that's, you know, much nicer than the place that we're staying in right now.
Now,
So-
I will say we are in Kowloon, which is a pretty populated area of the center of Hong Kong. So I think if you were to get outside of the city, it'd probably be a lot more affordable. But then you have to deal with the commute and all that. So the apartments might be tiny, but the buildings are huge. It feels like a concrete jungle here, other than this little park that we have found. This is the most greenery I have seen since we've come to Hong Kong.
Another really interesting thing that we've noticed every time we go out to eat is that people are very quick to try to help us. I mean, of course, they can tell that we're foreign the minute we walk in and the minute we speak, but they're always leaning over. I don't know if they just want to practice their English, but they're always trying to speak for us or help us with the waiters. And
They ask if we need help. They also try to order for us and say, oh, you should get this and this and this, which is very helpful.
one lady was super nice, and she just kept giving us her own dumplings. She was like, oh, these are off the menu. They're on a sign on the wall that you can't read. So she kept giving us those dumplings to try, and they were really good.
Speaking of food, it is everywhere. There are restaurants and food stalls galore. Every block has so many options.
And it all seems pretty affordable based on, we've just kind of been going to random places, and we haven't found the price to be that high. Now, I know that there are a lot of Michelin star restaurants here, and I'm sure the prices can get pretty high. Like in our last video, we went to a place and got some roast duck, and that was, roast goose. And that was more expensive than what we've been eating just at these random little places on the street that we can find.
But even at a Michelin-starred restaurant, we got 2 huge portions of meat and rice and vegetables. It was enough to fill us up, and it wasn't even 50 USD, so I still feel like that's really affordable.
It was still a good price for what we got, I think. But basically, if you're sticking with noodle dishes and dumplings and things like that, and Chinese food in general, it seems pretty affordable. When you go into the restaurant, they'll seat people at any open spot. So if you're sitting even in a booth with an empty spot across from you, they'll sit someone else there.
Yes.
Or if you're at a 4-person table and there's 3 people there that are friends that know each other, that 4th seat will be taken.
It caught us off guard at first.
Yeah.
Here in Hong Kong, any
you're just
seat is
elbow to
fair
elbow
game.
with people, slurping the noodles, and you just gotta embrace it. And they also don't give you napkins. I haven't seen napkins. We've had one restaurant that gave us napkins out of the 15 that we've went to so far.
So instead, us and everyone else carries around these little guys, which is little pack of napkins. We got these for 50 cents USD or 4 Hong Kong
I think
dollars.
at a 7-Eleven.
Hong Kong isn't so big, but even still, it takes you a while to get from top to bottom. Luckily, they have many modes of public transportation, and it has been amazing. Every train, tram, bus we've taken has been so easy to interact with and figure out. All of the prices for everything are listed, obviously. All the signs are in English.
Yeah,
You
seems
know
to run on time.
Yeah, especially Subway here. A lot of the kiosks have a little map. You literally just tap the station you're going to. It figures out the price for you. You say how many people, you just put your money in and go.
Takes
really
2 seconds,
easy.
and it really doesn't feel like it could be any easier.
It shows you with arrows and lights exactly where you're headed, where your stop is. It's all in English, and then it tells you even what side of the train to exit on, which is, it's all those little things when you're in a foreign country and you're trying to figure out your stop and you're trying to count, you know, in Google Maps, like, okay, 5 more stops, have we gone 5? I can't read any of the signs. It's just so nice to be able to sit there, calmly relax, and be like, I see exactly where my stop is. I know exactly where to get off the train and where to go.
One really funny thing that we've noticed here in Hong Kong, maybe we're making this up, I don't know, but I swear the escalators are considerably faster than they are.
100% faster.
Maybe not exactly 100% though.
150% faster.
They actually are probably about 30% faster than the average escalator by my estimation. And it was a little scary when we first got on it. It was like, whoa.
It takes you, and then there's so many people that if anybody missteps at the end, I feel like everyone's just gonna smash into them. It'd be chaos.
But we get to where we're going that much faster.
That much
so thank you, Hong Kong.
Oh, and they also have these cool double-decker trams, at least down on Hong Kong Island. They're so tall and skinny. We got to ride one in our previous video. It was pretty fun.
They've been around for over 100 years here in Hong Kong.
And it's very affordable. I think it was 250 Hong Kong dollars, so it ended up being 5.
So cheap.
It was like 50 cents USD to ride.
But I think that's gonna do it for this video. That's pretty much all the stuff that we've noticed so far. Now, like we said, we've only spent a little bit of time here. So if you've spent more time here, if you're from here, leave us a comment and let us know one of the unique things that you've noticed about Hong Kong, or just what your favorite things about Hong Kong are. And I hope that you guys have been enjoying these videos here from Hong Kong. We're gonna have a few more before we move on to Vietnam. I guess we let the cat out of the bag on that one, but we're super excited because we've never been to Vietnam.
No, and today is actually the warmest day we've had here in Hong Kong. It's very humid, but it's making me excited and a little nervous to go to Vietnam because I think this is a little taste of what it's gonna be like.
We're going to head to a coffee shop and get a little iced latte and get some work done for the rest of the day.
Yes, please. All right, goodbye, adventurers.
See you on the road.